Imagine this: you've been working on yourself, meditating, raising your vibration, letting go of negativity, and stepping into a higher state of consciousness. You feel lighter, more peaceful, more aligned. And then, out of nowhere, something dark appears. It could be a person who suddenly starts draining your energy. It could be a situation that seems to pull you back into old patterns. It could be an overwhelming sense of heaviness, as if something unseen is pushing against your light. And you ask yourself why? Why, after doing all this inner work, does it feel like negativity is still finding me? Shouldn't my high vibration repel darkness? Shouldn't it protect me from low-frequency energy? This is one of the greatest paradoxes of spiritual growth. The higher you vibrate, the more you attract negative energy. And if you don't understand why this happens and how to navigate it, you will constantly feel like you are being attacked, drained, or tested. But once you decode this phenomenon, once you understand the deeper mechanics of energy, you will realize that this is not a curse, it is proof that you are evolving. And more importantly, you will learn how to stop negative energy from interfering with your path. So let's start with the first and most important question: why does high vibration attract negativity? The answer is simple, but most people overlook it. Light attracts darkness. The brighter you shine, the more visible you become. And the more visible you become, the more forces, both seen and unseen, will try to either feed off your energy or pull you back into lower frequencies. This is not because you are doing something wrong. This is because you are disrupting the old energetic balance that once kept you hidden.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
Think about it like this. Imagine you are in a completely dark room where everyone is asleep. No one notices you because you blend in with the darkness. But the moment you turn on a bright light, everything changes. Suddenly you are seen, and not just by those who are also seeking light, but by everything that exists in the darkness. Some will be drawn to your light because they crave it. Some will be repelled by it because it exposes them, and some will try to dim it because it threatens them. This is why, as you raise your vibration, you will notice an increase in strange encounters. People who suddenly start projecting negativity onto you for no reason. Situations that test your patience. Unseen energies that make you feel drained or overwhelmed. You may even notice that certain people who used to be close to you start acting differently. Some may distance themselves. Others may become more critical, more reactive, more confrontational. This is because your energy is no longer matching theirs. And when energies no longer match, one of two things happens: either they rise with you or they resist you. But here's where it gets even deeper. High vibration does not just attract external negativity, it also activates the hidden shadows within yourself. You see, raising your vibration is not just about feeling good or being positive. It is about expansion. And true expansion means that everything within you that is not aligned with your higher frequency must come to the surface. This is why so many people experience unexpected emotional turbulence when they start elevating their consciousness. Old wounds, fears, insecurities, they all rise up to be cleared. Not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are finally at a frequency where you can no longer suppress them. So now, you are dealing with two things at once: external negativity that is drawn to your light, and internal negativity that is being forced out by your elevation. And if you do not know how to navigate this, you will feel like you are constantly under attack. You will feel exhausted, frustrated, and even question whether raising your vibration is worth it. But this is where the shift happens, because once you understand that this is not an attack, but an initiation, everything changes. You stop seeing negativity as something that is happening to you and start seeing it as something that is responding to you. You realize that the presence of resistance means you are breaking through old limitations. You realize that the darkness you are encountering is not here to stop you, it is here to test whether you are truly ready to hold your new frequency. So the real question is not how do you avoid negativity, but how do you navigate it without being affected by it? How do you maintain your high vibration without getting drained by the lower energies that it attracts? How do you move through the world as a being of light without being consumed by the darkness that tries to attach itself to you? The first step is awareness. You must become hyper-aware of your energy. You must learn to recognize when something is trying to latch onto your light, when a situation is trying to pull you down, when a person is unconsciously feeding off your frequency. Because the truth is, most negative energy does not come in the form of obvious attacks. It comes in subtle ways: passive-aggressive comments, sudden feelings of exhaustion after interacting with someone, recurring patterns that seem to test your patience. If you are not aware of these small energetic exchanges, you will keep wondering why you feel drained without realizing that your energy is being siphoned away little by little. The second step is boundaries. You must learn to protect your energy, not just physically, but energetically. This means becoming selective about who and what you allow into your space. It means recognizing that not everyone deserves access to your frequency. It means understanding that some people, knowingly or unknowingly, will try to feed off your light because they have forgotten how to generate their own. And this is not about judging them, it is about protecting yourself. Because if you do not set energetic boundaries, you will constantly find yourself being drained by people and situations that do not serve you. The third step is mastery of emotional alchemy. This means learning how to transmute negative energy instead of absorbing it. Most people, when faced with negativity, either react to it or internalize it. They either fight against it, which only feeds it more energy, or they take it in, which lowers their own vibration. But there is a third option: transmutation. This is the ability to take in external negativity and transform it into something higher. It is the ability to remain a source of light without letting darkness consume you. Think about a candle in a dark room. The candle does not fight the darkness. It does not absorb the darkness. It simply continues to shine. And in doing so, it transforms the entire room. This is what you must learn to do. To be so rooted in your own light that no external negativity can shake you. To be so anchored in your own frequency that you become untouchable. Because the moment you stop reacting to negativity, the moment you stop giving it power, it loses its grip on you.
So I want you to ask yourself, how are you handling the negativity that comes with your high vibration? Are you allowing it to drain you? Are you reacting to it and giving it more power? Or are you learning how to move through it with mastery? Because the truth is, negative energy is not something to fear. It is something to understand, something to navigate, something to rise above. And once you master this, once you learn how to hold your high vibration, no matter what energy you encounter, you become unstoppable. You become a force of transformation. You become a being of light that nothing can touch. And that is when you realize the presence of darkness was never a sign that you were failing. It was proof that you were rising.
Now that you understand why high vibrations attract negative energy, the next step is learning how to master this interaction. Because here's the truth: negativity does not just come to drain you, it comes to test you. But every time you elevate, every time you step into a higher frequency, you will encounter resistance. But this resistance is not random. It is a mirror. It is here to show you where you are still vulnerable, where you are still reactive, where you still have energy leaks that need to be sealed. And if you do not learn how to master this dynamic, you will keep finding yourself oscillating between high and low frequencies, constantly battling outside forces instead of standing firm in your own light. The first thing you need to understand is that negative energy has no power over you unless you give it permission. This is where most people get trapped. They think that just because they encounter negativity, they have to engage with it. They think that just because someone projects their fear, anger, or jealousy onto them, they have to respond. But here is the deepest truth: nothing can enter your energy field unless you allow it. This means that if you feel drained after being around certain people, it is not because they took your energy, it is because, on some level, you gave it to them. If you feel affected by someone's words or actions, it is because there is still a part of you that is open to their influence. And this is where true mastery begins: learning to take full responsibility for your own energy. So how do you do this? How do you stop negative energy from affecting you? The first step is to master the art of non-reactivity. Negative energy feeds on reaction. It depends on your emotional engagement to survive. If someone tries to provoke you and you respond with anger, they have succeeded in pulling you down. If someone projects fear onto you and you absorb it, you have taken on their frequency. But if you do not react, if you remain centered, if you refuse to engage, then the energy has nowhere to go. It dissolves. It cannot sustain itself in the presence of neutrality. This is why some of the most powerful spiritual masters in history were completely unshakable. It was not because they never encountered negativity, it was because they never gave it power. They understood that their energy was their responsibility, that no matter what was happening around them, they had the choice to remain in their own frequency. And this is the level of mastery you must develop. You must become so rooted in your own vibration that nothing external can shake you. The second step is energetic sovereignty. This means becoming fully conscious of your own frequency at all times. Most people go through life unconsciously absorbing the energies around them. They wake up feeling good, but then they go outside, interact with others, scroll through social media, and by the end of the day, they feel drained or anxious without even knowing why. This is because they are not in control of their own energy. They are allowing external forces to dictate their internal state. But when you develop energetic sovereignty, you become the gatekeeper of your own vibration. You decide what enters your field. You decide what affects you. You decide how you respond to the world. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through daily energy clearing. Just like you cleanse your physical body, you must also cleanse your energetic body. This can be done through meditation, breathwork, visualization, or any practice that helps you reset your frequency. Imagine, at the end of each day, scanning your energy field and consciously releasing anything that does not belong to you. Any emotions, thoughts, or energies that you may have picked up from others, let them go. Do not carry what is not yours. Do not hold on to frequencies that do not serve you. The third step is mastering your own shadow. Here's something most people do not realize: negative energy is only able to affect you if it has something to attach to within you. This means that if you are encountering negativity on a regular basis, it is not just about the external world, it is also about what is unhealed within you. If someone's criticism triggers you, it is because there is a part of you that still doubts yourself. If someone's negativity drains you, it is because there is a part of you that is still open to absorbing it. This is why shadow work is essential. You cannot fully protect your energy until you have healed the parts of yourself that are vulnerable to external influence. So ask yourself, where do you still give your power away? Where do you still allow other people's energy to dictate your state of being? Where do you still react instead of remaining centered? Because every time you react, every time you feel drained, every time you feel overwhelmed by negativity, it is showing you something about yourself. It is revealing to you where you need to do deeper work. And this is where true transformation happens. Because once you integrate your own shadow, once you heal the parts of yourself that are still susceptible to outside influence, you become untouchable. You become a being of light that is no longer affected by darkness. You become someone who can walk through any environment, interact with any energy, and remain completely in your own frequency. But here's the final and most powerful realization: negative energy is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Every time you encounter it, it is giving you an opportunity to strengthen your own energy. Every time you face resistance, it is refining you. Every time you are tested, it is showing you how much you have grown. And when you shift your perspective from seeing negativity as a problem to seeing it as a tool for your evolution, everything changes. You stop fearing it. You stop avoiding it. You start using it as fuel to rise even higher. So I want you to ask yourself, how do you respond to negativity? Do you react, or do you remain centered? Do you absorb it, or do you transmute it? Do you see it as an obstacle, or do you see it as a catalyst for your growth? Because the way you answer these questions will determine whether you are still at the mercy of external energy or whether you have stepped into true energetic mastery. And this is what separates those who struggle with maintaining their vibration from those who have fully stepped into their power. The ones who struggle are still fighting against negativity, still allowing external forces to dictate their energy. But the ones who have mastered this path, they do not fight, they do not resist, they do not engage. They simply remain in their own frequency, untouchable, unshakable, unstoppable. And this is the level you are being called to step into. Because the fact that negativity is appearing in your life means that you are rising. The fact that you are encountering resistance means that you are on the right path. The fact that you are being tested means that you are ready to step into a higher level of mastery. So the only question left is, are you ready to hold your frequency no matter what? Are you ready to become so powerful in your own light that no darkness can reach you? Because once you make that decision, once you commit to mastering your own energy, you will never be affected by negativity in the same way again. Now that you understand why high vibrations attract negative energy and how to begin mastering your own frequency, the final step is learning how to permanently stand in your power. Because here's the truth: negative energy will always exist. Low vibrations will always exist. The world is filled with both light and darkness, and that will never change. But what can change is your relationship with it. What can change is your ability to remain completely unaffected by external forces. What can change is your ability to move through life with unshakable energy, no matter what you encounter. This is the true test of spiritual evolution, not whether you can feel high vibrations in isolation, not whether you can maintain peace when everything is going well, but whether you can hold your frequency in the middle of chaos. Whether you can remain in your own energy even when surrounded by negativity. whether you can walk through the darkest places and still shine. Because this is what true mastery looks like, not escaping the world, but learning how to exist in it without being consumed by it. So how do you do this? How do you reach a level where negativity no longer affects you? The answer is simple, but it requires deep commitment, energetic dominance. You must learn to dominate the energetic space you exist in. Most people move through life in a passive state. They react to energy instead of controlling it. They enter a room and allow the energy of that space to dictate how they feel. They interact with people and unconsciously absorb whatever emotions those people are projecting. And this is why they feel drained, overwhelmed, and constantly pulled into lower vibrations. But those who have mastered their energy do the opposite. They do not adapt to the energy around them, they shift it. They do not absorb the emotions of others, they set the tone for the interaction. They do not enter a space and lower their vibration to match what is already there. They walk in and instantly elevate the entire environment with their presence. And this is the level you must step into. You must become so strong in your own frequency that nothing outside of you has the power to shift it. The first way to do this is by developing an unbreakable energetic field. This is not about putting up walls or shielding yourself out of fear. This is about becoming so solid in your own vibration that lower energies cannot penetrate it. Imagine yourself as a sun. The sun does not need to protect itself from darkness. It simply shines, and in doing so, it dissolves all shadows around it. This is what you must become. A source of energy so strong that negativity cannot exist in your space. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through daily energetic reinforcement. Every morning, before you interact with anyone, before you expose yourself to external energies, take a moment to set your frequency. Breathe deeply, center yourself, and affirm, I am in full control of my energy. Nothing outside of me can affect my vibration. I radiate such a high frequency that only energies aligned with my highest good can enter my space. Do this consistently, and over time, you will notice that negativity no longer sticks to you. You will notice that people who used to drain you no longer have the same effect. But you will notice that situations that once triggered you now pass through you without impact. But the second way to master energetic dominance is through presence. Most people are not fully present in their own energy. They are constantly distracted, constantly caught up in their thoughts, constantly unconsciously leaking their power. And this makes them highly susceptible to external influence. But when you are fully present, fully aware, fully rooted in the now, nothing can enter your field without your permission. You become like a mountain, unshakable, immovable, untouchable. But one of the simplest but most effective ways to cultivate this state is through breath awareness. Throughout the day, whenever you feel yourself becoming ungrounded, whenever you feel external energy trying to influence you, bring your attention back to your breath. Inhale deeply, exhale fully, and anchor yourself in the present moment. This simple practice will instantly bring you back into your own power. It will remind you that you are the one in control of your energy. The third and final way to reach complete energetic mastery is by embodying fearlessness. Negative energy thrives on fear. It feeds on insecurity, but it attaches itself to doubt. This is why those who are afraid of negativity are the ones who are most affected by it. The moment you fear an energy, you give it power. The moment you believe it can harm you, you open the door for it to do so. But when you become fearless, when you truly understand that no external force has power over you unless you allow it, negativity loses all control. So ask yourself, what are you still afraid of? Are you afraid of being drained by others? Are you afraid of being attacked by negative energy? Are you afraid of losing your high vibration? Because whatever you fear, you give life to. Whatever you resist, you attract more of. The key to true energetic mastery is not avoiding negativity, it is transcending the belief that it can affect you at all. And this is where everything changes. Because once you stop fearing negativity, once you stop reacting to it, once you stop giving it your attention, it disappears. Not because it no longer exists, but because it no longer has access to you. You have risen beyond it. You have outgrown it. You have become so powerful in your own light that nothing can touch you. And this is the ultimate truth. High vibrations do not make you a target for negativity. They make you a force that negativity cannot withstand. The only reason negativity affects you is because there are still parts of you that are open to it. But once you seal those openings, once you step into full energetic dominance, once you embody absolute fearlessness, you become untouchable. So the final question is, are you ready to step into this level of mastery? Are you ready to become so powerful in your own energy that negativity no longer affects you? Are you ready to stop reacting and start dominating the energetic space around you? Because once you make that decision, once you commit to fully owning your frequency, your entire experience of reality will shift. You will no longer feel drained. You will no longer feel attacked. You will no longer feel like you are battling negativity. Instead, you will walk through life as a being of light so strong that darkness cannot exist in your presence. You will radiate such a high frequency that only those who are ready to rise will be able to meet you there. You will become a living embodiment of energetic mastery. And that is when you will realize the deepest truth of all negativity was never something you needed to fight. It was only ever something you needed to rise above.